a little bit. So now, we talked overrated, and again, those ones are a little bit stiffer because those are matches that are ingrained in everybody's minds as great all-time matches. And, we're throwing some reasons out there where we felt might not be the case.
Yeah.
I think what will be a little bit more fun, though, is doing the underrated ones.
Oh, yeah.
Doing some underrated ones. And we're going to do something completely different. We're each going to pick one match today that for anybody who is able to, we want you to, hit pause on the podcast when we tell you, get the WWE Network fired up, and we'll tell you where to go.
Oh, yeah.
And watch along with us.
We're going to pull a Stone Cold Steve Austin today.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to watch along. We're going to pull up, each pick a match of our choice, something fun, maybe a match that you haven't seen before, and introduce you to something new. So as a matter of fact, we'll start this now. We'll give you guys a few seconds, if you haven't yet. Pull up the WWE Network. And I got my match already queued up here, so we'll start with my choice. I'm going to choose a match from Vengeance 2003, and once you pull up your network, it will be the fourth match on the card. It's a tag team title match. This is the world's greatest tag team. That was Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, going against Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman. Now, with those four workers involved, thinking this should be a good match. And I remember 2003 is a really cool year for me because that was my first year in the business. I debuted in February 2003. Okay. So all my wrestling I started watching from a different light. This was back in the day where we'd hit up B-dubs really to go watch all your pay-per-views, and I remember going and seeing this with a couple other wrestlers and trainees from my wrestling school. So we're at B-dubs. I wasn't 21 yet, so I'm not even drinking beers. Excuse me. But I remember, getting my food and BSing with the guys and all that. And this match came on again, like, oh, yeah, this should be a good match. And then, man, a couple minutes in, my eyes were captivated. And, dude, this match ended up being incredible. Meltzer gave it 4 stars, which I think is every last bit deserved. It's only a 13-minute match. A lot of times when you get your 4 or 5-star matches, they're usually some 20-plus minute classics, epics. This one is about 13 minutes, and it's just nonstop action.
All right.
So if you got it queued up, we're at actually 54:39 on the network, and it is the 4th match on the show, and I'm about to hit play.
All right, I like this. Let's go ahead and do this full screen. Fuck it. Rey Mysterio.
2003, I think, was a pretty cool time in the company because it was really when they were starting to settle in with all the changes they had made. They had acquired WCW and ECW at the beginning of 2001. They did the brand split around the middle of 2002. Also changed from WWF to WWE at that time.
Wow.
So the brand split's about a year old at this point, and they were doing brand-exclusive pay-per-views, which seemed kind of crazy at the time. You figure...
So I was
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was a sophomore in high school. This is like right about the time I stopped watching. Like, we're just around this time. So
You kind of started getting out at that time?
Yeah.
Well, while we got a Billy Kidman entrance, which is not exciting, this would be a good time to talk about it. What kind of steered you away? You're still in school.
I think at that point, they were starting to go towards the more PG type stuff. John Cena had come around. I wasn't a big fan of his. I wasn't around for this. Last time I saw Billy Kidman, he had long hair.
He had long hair and looked like Scott Stapp, had the wife beater and the jean shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was a big Billy Kidman
Yeah, he
guy.
thickened up for sure. I think trying to get into that WWE mode. You want to talk a couple underrated dudes? I mean, Shelton Benjamin's still working to this day.
Yeah.
But, man, this was a great tag team. And these guys were kids here. They were both coming straight out of the OVW school.
Yeah, for sure.
This is when, man, all that OVW class, they're here now. You got Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Batista, who's Randy Orton. They're all up in the main roster at this point. Lesnar, of course, got pushed to the moon. Cena was right in the middle of his Thug Life deal. He had a really good match with The Undertaker on this show.
Did he?
Where he was actually heel. Taker was doing the biker, Big Evil Red Devil character at this time. They actually had a really good match on this show, too. This is a underrated show altogether for me.
Cool. I'm psyched. I'm psyched to see it. Wow, yeah, they were super young.
Yeah, they're babies here. Rey Mysterio probably only on his 4th or 5th knee surgery, so then those knees are still pretty good right now for him.
Believe it. This is Big Pant Mysterio.
I think he was always Big Pant Mysterio in the WWE. Yeah, I think
in WWE.
Yeah, WWE.
He's a fucking unlockable character in the new 2K
You
game.
you know what's something cool about Rey Mysterio is to this day, I have I got twin 5-year-old girls, as anybody who knows me probably knows, and they like watching wrestling with me. But they've never seen Rey Mysterio in their lifetime, right? They're 5 years old. So that WWE 19 commercial comes on. They're showing some of the clips, and they show all the masks. And little Ellie, she's just like, "Who is that, Daddy?" I'm like, "That's Rey Mysterio. Can we watch Rey Mysterio?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "The power of the WWE Network, sweetie. Yes, we can."
Yeah. Hell yeah, we can.
And you think about how exciting a guy like that is with the colors and the masks and the action. Here, check this out once.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's
You
why
could
he's the man.
you could almost tell. This is a point where, Mysterio had kind of done it all in WCW. And see, I don't want to say he was ever unmotivated or phoned it in, but like there's a lot of times where a Mysterio match just felt like a Mysterio match. You can almost tell he was fired up to be working with these young guys because Haas and Benjamin could go.
Yeah. No, I'm sure he loved new talent, especially these guys.
I mean, yeah, Kidman was, a popular cruiserweight in WCW. I'll tell you, I don't have a whole lot of memorable moments from him in his WWF run, but man, he was on fire in this match, as we're about to continue seeing.
I remember the name Charlie Haas, but I don't remember much about him.
If you tuned out at about this time, Charlie Haas didn't have much of a better run than this, unfortunately. No. Yeah, it was one of those things. I mean, he's a hell of an in-ring worker, but he didn't have the athleticism that Shelton did, the pop and the flash. And neither guy is going to wow you in an in-ring promo, which, as you know, even today,
Shelton
man,
Benjamin's no good.
No, and to this day, you talk the people into the building. That's how you make your money. And if you can't do it, you're probably not going to have a prominent role in the company.
Yeah, well, you really haven't seen him much either.
Shoo!
Man, he needs to come back. We don't have enough of that stuff anymore.
I don't know how much of that he can. Well, the thing is Ray's earned it where he doesn't have to do it on a nightly basis anymore. He doesn't have to necessarily do all the house shows, and because you got to figure the way he flies and lands. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, it obviously has been with all of his surgeries. It's been rough on his body.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I remember back when he unmasked.
Oh,
I remember what his face looks like.
If you listen to the Tony Schiavone podcast, he'll tell you every time how handsome of a young man he was.
That's so crazy. I can't believe they did that either.
Oh, man, that was a Eric Bischoff narrative where he didn't feel they were marketable in the mask. He wanted to market them without it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it got some eyeballs watching. It got me watching.
Well, and the thing is that if they take the mask off, you could really make it mean something. I remember with Mysterio, it was just basically Kevin Nash being a dick. It was just more to get Nash over as being a dick, beating Mysterio. Juventud Guerrera lost to Jericho, and Jericho, I remember, would wear the mask around, which was kind of cool. Whew! Some elevation.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Benjamin and Haas debuted and they were Team Angle, kind of hanging out with Kurt Angle?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I remember him kicking him out and everything too.
Getting all pissed off. They wanted Kurt to turn babyface, so this is after that. This is WrestleMania 19 was earlier this year. Kurt had to miss time with that neck injury.
He had a broken neck.
Basically a broken neck. So when he came back, he was babyface, and they wanted to keep these guys heel. So they split away from Kurt, formed the world's greatest tag team, and they still had a pretty good run going forward.
I remember bits and pieces from documentaries and whatnot.
I bet if we look back at underrated matches, there would really dug deep in some research, you'd probably find quite a few Shelton Benjamin ones.
Yeah? So I don't know too much about him. I know I'm not a big fan of him right now or any of the things he's done lately.
Sure. Well, yeah, this match was 15 years ago, so you think it'd be like, oh yeah, he's pretty athletic. Man, this is
Yeah,
15 years after he was getting started.
In his prime, essentially. 1, 2.
Did you ever see the match with him and Shawn Michaels on Monday Night Raw? It was the classic one where Shelton came springboarding off the top. Shawn caught him in midair with a super kick.
No, I have not.
It's widely known as one of the best Raw matches of all time. Yeah,
Huh.
I think what might be a fun episode in the future, Mark, is to go back to the era that Mark didn't watch and find all the great matches. And I mean, you're just gonna be hitting
We could start a series, Mark catching up.
Mark catching up. You're gonna have a smorgasbord of good shit.
Yeah, because there's probably a good
Now here's the thing: is
8 or 10 years I wasn't watching.
I missed a lot of it too because this is I'm in my early 20s where I didn't have cable, and believe it or not, a lot of times didn't have internet.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody had internet back in the day, man. It was kind of expensive. You didn't have a computer.
Now you can't live without it.
Now everybody has the internet on any device possible. But back then, all right, here, check this out.
Oh.
Shoo!
Wow.
That was
That's
some
why
impact.
Billy Kidman was on my underrated list.
Billy Kidman didn't create the shooting star press, but I think he was one of the first to really bring it to the mainstream. And, of course, I mean, we know guys like Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal, or M-Dog, Matt Cross. There's guys that have prettier shooting star presses, but woo!
Yeah, that was nice.
To the floor, and as we mentioned earlier, Billy Kidman isn't a tiny guy at this point. He's definitely put on some mass.
No, he bulked up a bit.
And it's a big dude come crashing down like that. Ooh, that was
was super
close 2 count.
I almost think he didn't even actually kick out. He just let him loose.
Hey, the referees are told you count the 3. Usually they'll know you're finished going in, but hey, if you don't get up, they're going to count the 3. You can't make the referee look stupid.
No, you've seen it happen. Into the
Out
turnbuckle.
of nowhere. So we're going to be talking about some underrated matches here, and I've seen some of your list, and I did a little research myself. It's kind of looking up, underrated matches on the network, and a lot of them were matches where I wouldn't call underrated because I'm like, no, I know that match, and I know it's great.
Yeah.
This is a match that I don't think anybody ever talks about. Like, it's just a middle of the card match in the middle of the year and a SmackDown exclusive where it wasn't a memorable. Any sort of memorable outcome or anything like that. But, I mean, this is just one of those hell of a tag team match that I figure if you got 15 minutes to spare, you should watch.
I can see why. I agree. I definitely never seen this match, never heard anybody talk about this match.
Exactly. So I was trying to dig a little bit deeper for
this is all new to me right here.
Matches that just nobody talks about.
Man.
Bow and arrow lock. I gotta tell you, man, that takes some core strength to have a guy on top of you like that and keep your shoulders off the mat. Because that's the first thing with a move like that. You count the shoulders down.
I was about to say that's probably more work for Shelton than it was Kidman. Man.
That was a move where like we've probably seen it in a video game, and me and Josh in a basement match tried to do and can't really figure out how to do it. That and the old Mexican surfboard. That was like the coolest looking move ever. But
yeah, Mexican surfboard. That always seemed in pot. Like you have to be a ballerina.
I've been in it. Yeah, and it takes just a lot of core strength from both guys to make that move work.
You couldn't do that to a big man.
It's not comfortable, I'll tell you. Another move I don't think I've ever been in or even wanted to try was Tajiri's Tarantula, where he'd kind of climb over the ropes, hook their arms with his legs, and grab the legs with his arms like a Boston Crab almost in the ropes.
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. I gotta say, I miss the old school logo. It was much easier to draw. Scribble shit.
That's basically what they call it, the scratch logo.
Yeah, scratch.
Look at that. Easy, just such an easy tag team thing to do. Right before you make the tag, heel comes in. The referee doesn't see it. Oh, the crowd gets pissed. And then, of course, the double team on the other side. Just a simple strategy.
And then the 1, 2, yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you can tell with the basic formula. I mean, right now we've seen 2 heats. Rey Mysterio's getting worked over early. Now it's Kidman. That's always a nice thing to do in a tag match when you have a little bit of time. You say, hey, let's do 2 heats. Because it's a good way to build that crowd up and then bring them back down and build them back up again. Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a hell of a land.
Because, again, in a match, you want to tell the story. So you beat down the babyface, and you just want to see him make that tag, the hot tag that come in, the house on fire, the crowd's behind it. Well, hey, you get a little bit of time in your match, do it twice.
Yeah.
No reason not to. And what's smart is that Rey was, no knock on Billy Kidman, but he was definitely the more popular babyface. So he'll eventually get his comeback. Second, looks like they might have forgot the spot the first time, so they go back to it.
Yeah. Building up that tag.
I'll tell you, there's the hot tag, and here we go.
Off the
nice. I
that
don't remember
nice.
him doing that ever.
That was some good camera angles and cuts too.
Oh, well, man, the WWF has always been second to none on. They know exactly. And I'd even heard, too, where the producers want to get with the wrestlers, say, hey, what are you going to do? Where are you going to be? And this is how they know how to shoot it.
Yeah.
Because it's huge. I mean, just to get the perfect angle for everything.
See, that was spot on, too. Like, they were ready for that one. That was nice. That was perfectly executed. I thought that was it. Shit.
They got you. They got you sold.
They did.
Which, again, if we go back to my discussion about Undertaker and Mankind, it's just I never ever felt like Mankind was going to win the match. So, again, you were excited to see what was going to happen next because of all the crazy shit.
Yeah.
But I ultimately want to believe that either guy can win the match, even if it's an underdog story. Like, make me believe it.
Yeah. What? That was strange.
Yeah, Kidman kind of rocked, couldn't get out. It's a weak excuse to have the referee's back turned, but, you try to do everything you can to protect your referee.
Yeah.
Because in the tag match, it can get hectic, and you always want to see all 4 guys kind of flying around because it's exciting. But you also don't want to make your ref look like a complete idiot, where he just lets you do it. The first 10 minutes of the match, they're strictly enforcing the rules. Hey, get out by the 5 count. But for now, because it's exciting,
Yeah.
So it might have been kind of flimsy to why his back was turned, but they tried.
That's all to better the product. Kidman sliding in. Oh, okay.
Check this shit out.
Nice. For a second there, I thought they blew his spot, but no, there it was. Not. Oh, so they got me again.
Got you again.
They got me twice.
And this is great on Mysterio Kidman's part. Both really selling the shit out of that. Because of, I mean, they had you sold, but now they're selling the audience again that they thought there's no way he could have got out of that.
Yeah. Mysterio's like the perfect underdog, too.
Oh, yeah.
Being
Again,
so little.
Easy story to tell, yeah. You see a blind tag there, and then... Yeah. Oh!
Nice.
I
felt it.
That was legitimate. Yeah.
So that technically that was 3 times they got me because I thought for sure he was gonna break that up.
And they caught him there just a split second too late. So that was my pick for our watch along, folks. I hope everybody enjoyed. Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman versus the world's greatest tag team. Again, Meltzer gave it 4 stars for a match again that didn't have any, not a ton of build up. It's just basically, hey, a tag team challenger versus the tag team champions.
Basic mid card match, really.
Middle of the card, and those guys went all out. Had a hell of a match.
I agree. I haven't heard anybody talk shit about that match. So like I said, I didn't even really know about that match until this moment. But knowing all that, I would definitely say this match was underrated.
There we go. Look at that.
I agree. That was great. This actually made me like Shelton Benjamin. Really, they haven't been showing how great he can be.
That is going to be the show. So when did you get back in, Mark? What was about WrestleMania
2016 Royal Rumble. AJ Styles came out number 3, and I was like, well, now I got a reason to stick around.
There's way too much to cover in that era, but we'll find maybe like one great match from each year and have a fun like Mark catches up sort of show.
We can, dude. That's probably a good 8 to 10 years of catching up. So there's 8 episodes right there. We can make it a little mini series.
I think it sounds like a lot of fun for me. I'm gonna have some fun digging into it, saying, "Hey, did you see this match?" And you're gonna say no, and I'll be like, "Oh shit."
Some of them I might have saw. I did YouTube quite a few different matches before.
Gotcha. So you see probably all the classics where you hear like, "Oh, you got to see this," but
yeah.
But something like this, completely under the radar. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I never heard about this one.